evening, everybody, and welcome to the APAT show on Sunday night. Lee, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm aging just sitting here.
Yeah, it very much does feel that for anybody that saw our little bit of socials earlier on today. Yeah, we have very much aged in the space of a few hours. Picked up a couple of great retro photos from way back in time when we were teenagers when we started APAT. But yeah, if you haven't checked them out, they're on the Facebook group. We did make it a bit of a caption competition. So and to be fair, people have been too brutal with us, but we'll dish out a few prizes to some winners later on. We'll have a chat through all of those and see what we go. But what a day it's been a Formula One race in the rain, and the Lionesses came good this evening, which was an incredible game. And we've currently got 7 plucky contestants playing on groverpoker.com, looking to win themselves an APAT Players' Choice seat. You've still got 19 minutes if you want to get in. It actually got delayed by about 10 minutes. It's just I think everyone was enjoying the celebrations from Switzerland a little bit too much, so things got delayed. But yeah, they're up and running. So if you want to get involved in this, 2 seats currently up for grabs at the moment. We've had 4. It's gone to 4 seats in previous weeks for this. But if you want to get involved, you are very much welcome. I'm looking at the list of who's sat there playing. To be honest, Des, Tony G's in there, and Alan Ellis is in there, and Tristan's play. I mean, to me, it looks pretty soft to me. Looks a fairly soft field if you want to get involved. It might be an easy way of picking yourself up some seats. Now, what you've got to remember is you can use these £140 seats for any APAT events we've got for the rest of the year. But obviously, most importantly, in what are we now? 4 weeks time, I want to say less than 4 weeks time.
It feels quickly.
It might be 3.5 now. World Championship of Amateur Poker, 22 events at Dusk Till Dawn across 6 days. And you can use that £140 towards any of those events. So if you want to play the main event is a 210 buy-in, so you can put it towards that. There's loads of £140 bracelet events. There's a chunk of £70 events. If you want to play a couple of those, you can do that. There's also a high roller in there as well. You can put it towards that. Whatever you want to go, as is always the way. So any seats that have been won on satellites on Grosvenor Poker in the last months, I think we're up to something like 30 plus odd winners we've had that have all got tickets. You can use those to the world. Just drop Tom a message just to let him know, so he knows how much money to have in his back pocket to be able to buy you all in when it comes to being at Dusk Till Dawn. But we're going to have obviously a load of winners from satellite, a load of winners from poker raffles draws as well, because I know a lot of people, I mean, you know what it's like, Des, isn't it? You know, Tom will contact them on the Tuesday morning and say, "So congratulations, you won your APAT. Do you think I could hold it off and use it for the Worlds? Do you think that'd be possible?" We have had that conversation so many times. And of course, super flexible, whether it's a poker raffles win or whether it is a satellite win on groverpoker.com. Yeah, we're super flexible on what you want to use that for. In 2025, and if it's not the Worlds, there's a whole host of stuff in the autumn. We're doing Portsmouth, Leeds, Glasgow, Ash, Malta, London, and then squads back in Nottingham. So stacks of stuff to use it for in a space of about 3 months. I don't think Tom's actually going to get back to Plymouth in the autumn. I think he's pretty much just going to be on the road constantly. But all good. So yeah, whatever you fancy doing with that, give it a whirl. But you have got 15 minutes if you want to get in to this satellite tonight and have a splash around with these guys and see if you can win yourself a seat. As who's just joined, the ICM book has just joined with their 5k stack. Blinds are currently let me see where we are. Blinds now. Why has my absolute eyesight gone completely bonkers and I can't even see where we are stack wise? 100, 200. So you still sat down with 25 bigs at the moment. So
plenty of chips. I tell you who has joined us, Lee, is Tony G. He's in the chat. I can see he's at the table as well. Playing for seats. Yeah.
Evening to you, Tony. Tony's got just over starting stack. So say if you jumped in now, you'd you wouldn't be too far behind Tony's stack. Chip leader at the moment is Pelican U69, who's got 12k, which is say is about 60 bigs at the moment. So that's plenty to play with. Satellite runs every Sunday night, £30 buy-in to win £140 seat. You can win your £30 ticket any day of the week on the Grosvenor feeders. There's a free roll into £1, pound into a fiver into a 30. They run daily from about 4 o'clock every day till about 10, 11 o'clock. Full schedule on there. So yeah, if you're tight for time on a Sunday, try and build yourself up a few tickets. You don't have to use them. They don't automatically put you into the to the next thing or anything like that. They'll sit in your account and use them as and when you see fit. That is the plan. So yeah, if you're out in the chat today, give us a shout. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, give us a shout out what you've been up to today. Yeah, I sat and watched I watched the Lionesses game, and super impressed. I thought Spain were probably the better team first half. I thought England were definitely the better team in the second half. Probably looked like it obviously went to extra time. Spain again kind of took control and looked like the only team that were probably going to win it in extra time if anybody was. It very much felt for England. It was backs against the walls, just hang on. And then obviously it went to the penalty shootout. And I don't know what it is about. I've watched the women's Euros penalty shootouts have been so many saves.
I prefer to think of it as excellent goalkeepers. Leigh.
Well, you'd think so, but I don't know how much of it you've watched, but the keepers seem to dive very early. It's like they've all got their stats about obviously who takes a penalty where, and so what you're going to do. And the game the England won against Sweden, I was shouting at the TV, going, for goodness sake, they know which way you're going to take a penalty. Put it the other way. Like how difficult is this to do? Because it was like the keeper was diving early, and they were still putting it exactly the same way that the keeper was. I was already effectively telegraphed where they were diving. It was very, very strange. But yeah, maybe it is just good goalkeeping and giving it a go. But it's just for Chloe Kelly to sit there, the last one, and no bother whatsoever. I'm sticking this in the back of the net. Fair play to them. It's
that is how you take a pen, right? A lot of the pens were, the power was relatively low, and when a commentator would kind of say, "Oh, she's hit it right into the corner," it was like a foot past the goalie, and the goalie kind of jumped over it. The pens weren't great. They weren't great against Sweden. They weren't great tonight, but they were better ultimately than their opponents, and that's all you can do.
And when you've got a double Ballon d'Or winner in Spain missing her penalty, you appreciate the pressure. And Spain wanted it. They wanted to obviously emulate what the men's team had done by winning the World Cup and the Euros, kind of back to back, and basically being the holders of both of those would have been a huge thing. And Spain are the number one team in the world at the moment. I think there's so many good things to take away from it. I mean, from England's point of view, that's 3 finals on the bounce, and won 2 of them.
It's outstanding, yeah.
Yeah, for Serena Wiegmann, that's 5 finals in a row.
That's the 3rd time consecutively she's won that tournament, right?
Yeah, that's just absolutely nuts. I mean, that just and it probably won't necessarily get the praise or level that it should, but it is that's just ridiculous. Yeah, that just shouldn't be possible to do that. But she has with what's what is a really good set of England players. And what you're seeing now is the Women's Super League teams are investing and getting stronger, and you're seeing a really good pool of players now coming through that are being properly coached, properly managed, and you're seeing results come from it. It's as simple as that. It's really, really good to see. Really, the only disappointing thing was they stuck it in a 35,000 seater stadium.
I tell you,
but I suppose it's a host country, and it's it's what they've got. But
they still hit the record for the largest Euros attendance, though, didn't they? 670,000 was it, or something like that?
Yeah, wouldn't you have assumed that 3 years ago in England that that numbers would have been higher than that. With
Well, I
with the
guess
stadium
it was for the
sizes and
England
stuff, that
games,
maybe,
but
yeah.
some of the games were on the South Coast and stuff, and they got reasonably small attendances, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in Switzerland the whole thing was just closer together. Now, I'm kind of saying that without having seen a map of where all the venues were. I don't know, but you can't argue with the numbers, right? They were excellent.
It's super impressive. And 2 years' time, and the World Cup is in Brazil, which will be will be pretty cool. See
Bit
how
of
that
late night
goes.
viewing there, Lee.
Yeah,
Well, actually, not too
nothing
bad.
wrong.
Not too bad.
No, it shouldn't be. I'm already into that already because we're in pre-season friendly territory at the moment. So it's football at the ungodly hours at the moment.
Did you watch United last night?
I stayed up to watch United versus
excellent.
West Ham last night. I don't think I'll probably do the one midweek. We're playing Bournemouth midweek, and it's like a 2:30 kickoff.
2:30 in the day.
No, in the morning.
Forget that. Yeah.
So that'll go on record, and we'll watch the game. But very pretty, actually fairly pleased with United. I thought first half with the kind of the stronger team out, we looked okay, but it's pre-season, isn't it? It doesn't really count for very much. You had a goal fest against AC Milan.
It was fun. It was a fun watch. I watched it on Saturday.
Do you want to talk us? Do you want to talk me through the one Milan goal with Kirkes and what was going on at the back there?
I have no idea. I mean, it was just a little bit of madness. But one thing it did show is that Marmadashvili does not have a lot of pace. So let's get the ball to him if we're going to pass it back. He looked really struggling for a big lad.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least, but we'll see how that all plays out. You've got 8 more minutes if you want to get involved in the satellite tonight. So it's currently 2 seats plus £28 for this. So basically, third place is going to get you your money back, which is not too bad. Obviously, we're only a few weeks away from the start of the football season, which means fantasy football is kicking off. The APAT show league has been renewed, so if you were in the league last year, you should basically automatically go. If you've renewed your team this year, you should automatically go back straight back in. If you haven't and want to get involved in it, then nothing stop you from doing that. Yeah, you'll find that it's free to enter. You'll find the code on the Facebook page, and we chuck in 250 quid's worth of poker raffles tickets throughout the season for winners of various things. We'll confirm all of that before the season kicks off. But yeah, getting a few changes on the rules and regs this year, so a few different ways of earning points and things. But well worth checking out if you haven't. It's over on the Premier League website. So if you go over to premierleague.com and click on Fantasy Football, you need to set up an account with them first of all, but pretty straightforward to get a team up and running. We're still 7-handed here. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll show you my let me bring up my. Here you go. This is draft number 7, I think, or something like that, to be honest. Yeah, but pretty straightforward to do. 15 in the squad. I've gone for Wirtz. I'm liking the looks of Wirtz.
He looks smashingly.
Yeah, I'm really fast. I'm not saying Salah won't have a strong season again. So Salah's the top player, I think 14.5 million. Haaland is 14 mil. It's actually, let me bring up the transfer section and should be able to bring up. There you go. So you can probably see that. So Salah's 14.5 million, top scorer last year. Do you know the scary thing about this is, so you look at that midfield list. I don't know how is that's big enough. Let me see if I can make that a bit bigger on the screen. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So if you count down, right? So from Salah's 1. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we just get to 6, right?
Yeah.
We're just going to get to 6. Top 6. So top 6 scoring midfielders from last season. Luis Diaz is off to Bayern Munich, right?
Yeah.
So of the top 6, Luis Diaz is gone, so we don't count him.
Yeah.
Mo Salah plays for Liverpool. Palmer plays for Chelsea. The other 3 all now play for Man United.
Jesus,
which is
you've just killed three fine careers there.
Yeah, the team that just finished 15th in the league last year. So really difficult to know, because you kind of think, okay, United can't have as bad a season as they did last year. they've got 2 new number 10s in Bruno and Kuna, and obviously Bruno Fernandes is never not going to be in the team. They're all similarly priced, actually. And Bruno and Kuna are both 8 million. Fernandes is 9 mil. I don't think either of those two are going to take Fernandes off penalties.
Yeah.
So, so probably that's the reason why Bruno is at 9 mil. But actually, it's really difficult to know. You could argue picking 2 of those 3 and having a decent season. But you could also see 2 of those 3 absolutely scoring significantly less points than they did last year because of the team that they're now going to be in.
Well, yeah, I mean, 2 of them were obviously, in other teams, albeit that said, not teams that performed, enormously. I mean, they did have good seasons themselves, but, fair play, impressive for those players to be near the top of that leaderboard. They're going to go into United team. All 3 will get into the first 11, so it's not like they're going to be.
Well, you say they will. The difficulty you've got is to get all 3 of those into the first 11. You'd imagine the 2 new signings will play in the 2 number 10 roles. So unless we don't play with a striker and are going to play, like not a false 9 as such, but
Isak, aren't you?
Yeah, no, we're not. Definitely not buying Isak. That's not happening. It means Bruno's probably going to end up playing in one of the 2 in the pivot, which will be it'll be interesting to see what happens. But it was exciting to say the West Ham game the other night was good. It was a good run out and better than the Leeds game, which was a boring 0-0 nonsense.
I only saw the last. No, I didn't see the last. I saw probably a 15-minute spell. The second third of the second half, shall we say. And thought Kuna was very impressive, very intense, chasing things down. Looked to have brought good energy there. He'll bring something different, and we're still a work in progress with it. But it's going to be interesting to see how Liverpool go. Simply for the fact is, I mean, the interesting one for every game, Lee.
Yeah, the interesting one from a fantasy football, apart from I'll tell you the one thing that's going to do my head in with this fantasy football website is you go to change. They've moved the team players to the left-hand side, right? So let me just go back to that a second. Right, so they've moved the teams to this left-hand side, right?
Yeah.
So when you want to go and do a filter, and I was going to go and select the Liverpool squad. So I click on all players.
Yeah.
The filter option appears on the right-hand side.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, it's doing my head in already. I've been playing about with this for a week, and it's doing my head in already. But anyway, I digress. The Liverpool. So the interesting one I was going to say from your midfield. So you've got obviously Salah scored silly points last year. Szoboszlai and McAllister, decent points. And Gakpo, you're going to assume is going to play on the left. Gravenberch obviously will play in that holding position. But you've now also got Averts coming in.
Yeah.
How do you play all of those?
Well, Chiesa's going. Elliott's going to go.
But from a starting 11 point of view, you'd imagine Salah starts.
Yeah.
What starts. If Diaz goes, Gakpo's playing on the left. Does one of Szoboszlai or McAllister not start?
Well, in the 2 games that we've had in pre-season, Szoboszlai's sort of has almost been played at right back. No, he's not going to play at right back. It'll be Bradley or it'll be Frimpong. They think Frimpong will cover maybe for Salah when Salah goes to the AFCON in January, so maybe he'll cover for him prior. But lots of competitions, But for sure, somebody's going to have to miss out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it happens. Obviously, you're still signing more. You obviously signed. Is Ekitike appeared on here yet? Let's see. Yes, Ekitike's now appeared as a forward on here now at 8.5 million. And you've still got Darwin, who is rumored is going to be.
I think he's
on the way. You're getting very good money for Diaz. I mean, that's
amazing. 65 mil, right?
Ridiculously good money. Should just say on the satellite, you've got about a minute left if you want to get in and play this tonight. There are 7 of them left fighting it out. But you've got about a minute if you want to get into the reg on that. We are keeping an eye on that. I'll let you know once we're down to nearer the seats. We'll talk a bit of football in the meantime Yeah, it'd be interesting. There's obviously from this kind of info from fans and people, they're supporting their clubs as to who's likely to play is really useful for fantasy football managers who don't necessarily know, all the other teams. Again, I'm going to be curious to know. I see Simon's in the chat. Be curious to know how he thinks Forest are going to do this year with European football as well, and Solder Langer so far. Curious to know, do we think Chris Wood will have as good a year as he had?
And Gibbs White, where is he?
Gibbs
he
White,
was,
Gibbs White? He was
going to Spurs, and suddenly he's
signed a new contract, hasn't he?
Yeah, signed a new contract.
What is that all about? I mean,
great
Simon,
win
again,
for Forest.
If you know, let us know what the inside story is on that, because that's a very strange one. I know Forest were unhappy with Tottenham's approach, but ultimately, if a player's had their head turned, it's very strange for them to then just go, we'll just we'll be there. Simon's in the chat to be happy with 15.
Be happy with 15.
and a decent European run. Yeah. Well, depending on which competition they're in, because obviously Crystal Palace have put their complaint in, or their into UEFA regarding the decision about switching them round. So Forest still don't technically know which competition they're in at the moment, do they?
No, very tricky. But one would assume at this point it's going to be the Europa League, and Palace are going to have to.
I can't see them backtracking on the decision that's been made.
I don't think so. I don't think there's even going to be time. I mean, those competitions have started. Remember.
Yeah. So interesting. So Simon's comment there in the chat. So great negotiation. Agent Lee, get out clause, massive pay rise. Yeah. And yes, and then likely to go next summer. We've had a few of those, haven't we? Nico Williams was another one, wasn't he, at Bilbao? Barcelona were desperately wanting to sign him, and all of a sudden he signed a new contract. Said, "I'm never leaving this club." What's money says that he's off within a year, 2 years maximum. I think Barcelona have taken Rashford on loan for the season. I don't think they'll sign Rashford permanently. I think they've just seen that as a stopgap that will work for them, because actually Rashford's the type of player that will sell some shirts, got a good profile, and not and a handy enough player, and a fresh start might do him the world of good. I don't see in a year's time Barcelona going, we'll give you 35 million for him, another year off his contract. I'd be very surprised.
I don't think they'll have the money, Lee. More to the kind of point.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got an all-in a call there. ICM book with the Pocket Kings and bust. I didn't see who bust. It might have been Sir Cross, actually. Yeah, I think it was Nick. I think it was Nick. We are down to 5. So top three are getting paid. Third place is going to pick up £28, pretty much their money back. And then the top 2 are going to pick up £140 APAT Players' Choice seats. The ICM book, that was a massive pot for them. They've got over 60 bigs now. Massive chip leader, more than double what anybody else has got. Wolfie, 23.69 is second, pretty close to 13 tricks as well. Wendy, that is, who've both got about 22 bigs. Then Alan Seymour Tilts has got 15 and Tris has got 11. So, ICM book is looking in a good spot here for picking. In fact, they've probably got pretty much half the chips in play, not far off that. Yeah, what's there about? The others have got about 28,000 and ICM book's got about 25. So yeah, not far off that to say that. So interesting. Simon thinks his money's on that it'll be conference first. So you think it's going to get overturned then, the decision? I can't see how.
He's been pessimistically, isn't he? If you follow a club, naturally you go, well, they're going to demote us again.
I think the reality of it is although Crystal Palace have now put the necessary things in place that they comply, they didn't comply when the deadline
appropriate
was.
time.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's like driving down the road in a 30 and doing 37 and going past a policeman there with a speed camera, and then you brake once you've gone past him and go, well, I'm doing less than 30 now. Is that please don't book me? Is that all right? I think it doesn't work like that, does it?
I think what Simon needs to ask himself is, why are Forest one of maybe the only Premier League club on Twitter that doesn't have a gold tick mark? Why hasn't the owner spent the £1,000 to get the gold tick mark? What's he saving that money for, Si? Big incomings, possibly.
Yeah. Is that really the question? That is.
Big incomings from the Estonian League, Si. Yeah. Keep an eye on this space.
So back on the fantasy football then. So
yes.
of the big money players, what's your thoughts on Salah this year? Would you be spending your 14.5 million? You get 50 million as a budget to buy 15 players. Are you spending 14.5 million on Mo Salah this year, Des?
I tell you, Lee, the one thing I will say about Mo Salah is he's going to get a lot of chances this year. I mean, he had an exceptional season last season.
But do you think he's going to get even more? He's going to get even more than he did last year?
I do.
Are you thinking you're going to be a lot more open this year as a team, a lot more attacking?
It's kind of looking like that. It's looking a little like 2017 all over again. Schoolboy football, charge. Oh, shit, we lost the ball. It's got that look about it.
Are a team's going to rock up to Anfield and it's going to be jumpers for goalposts? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's a reasonably safe bet.
Yeah.
I think there'll be the occasional, comfortable wins, and there'll be a lot of slightly uncomfortable, 4-2s, 4-3s, possibly 2-3s, that sort of stuff. I can see it coming.
I mean, obviously, the interesting thing is that let me set this.
And I should say that is until we settle in. I think once this squad settles in, there's a lot of strength there. I think once they find the equilibrium, they should score goals and maybe not concede as many. But
interestingly, there's obviously Salah is a massively overpriced midfielder compared to everybody else. Palmer's second, on 10.5 million. Then you've got Saka at 10. I actually think Saka is possibly overpriced at 10 million this year for Arsenal. I think with Gyökeres signing, there's a possibility Saka gets taken off penalties. Quite possibly, because I think Gyökeres is a thing, and I think also the way Arsenal have strengthened, I don't think there's as much of a reliance on Saka anymore. I'm not sure he's going to get as much game time. I think Madueke is signed as well. I mean, they paid decent money for him, but there is so many midfielders kind of from the 9 million to 7 million mark, that entire page there. And some of these teams are just loaded. I mean, say you look at Arsenal on there, that list there has got Arsenal with Saka, Odegaard, Madueke, Martinelli, Trossard, all on that first page of midfielders. I mean, you're seeing clubs, and we talked about Liverpool's midfield. The top teams are really loading the squads with seriously effectively
been a lot of strengthening, Lee, hasn't there?
Effectively it's two starting 11s that's where the top four now that are that are all have been regularly in the, or will regularly be in the Champions League, I think, because I think that's going to be Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool for a little while at the moment, and that fifth spot, assuming it's always available, is going to be up for grabs. I think it'll flick around between different clubs, but those squads are looking super strong depth wise, and unfortunately the likes of Tottenham, Villa, Newcastle have got decent first 11s, but they haven't got that double, that second 11 that pretty much those top four have got at the moment. It's going to be really interesting to see how the season pans out. That is for sure. But it'll be interesting to see whether, I'm not sure midfielder wise whether how much value there is in those top ones at that sort of level. Forwards wise, Haaland obviously was injured last season, so didn't score as many as he normally would, but still is at 14 million. There's always been a lack of quality strikers in the Premier League. These are, it used to be you'd have 5 or 6 that you could pick from, and they're all going to bang a decent number of goals in. Hasn't really been that way for a while. When you think that the fifth top one in that list is Jared Bowen, who you'd never really class as a number 9, stick it in the back of the net striker, would you? So Haaland is there. Obviously, Isak at Newcastle, who's apparently said that he wants to move. So we'll see what happens there. Watkins is now heading into his 30s. Going to be interesting to see how much game time Ekitike gets. Is he going to be your main number 9 for the season? Are you going in for Isak? Is that a
I think so.
Is that a leave it to the end of the season, to the end of the window?
I think
sorry, see what happens.
I think it'll happen a lot more quickly than that. Simply because if he does leave Newcastle, they'll have to replace him, and they'll need time to do that. Sesko has been discussed. There's a couple of others. Is it Wissa from Brentford?
Wissa apparently definitely wants a move. He's made that clear. He's not even training at the moment. I think Gyökeres obviously has been confirmed with for Arsenal now. I think they announced that the other day, and it very much feels like Sesko is going to come somewhere in the Premier League. It'll be interesting to see where. Obviously, if Isak leaves Newcastle, you'd assume goodness me, Newcastle this transfer window. I don't know how much you've been following their targets.
A reasonable amount you can expect.
Just about everyone that they've publicly come out and said that they're interested in, they've lost out on. I mean, it's just, even James Trafford going back to City, the goalkeeper from Burnley, like Newcastle were in, and it's like I don't know what it is, because they've got Champions League football, they've got a really good manager, good coach, they've got plenty of money in the club. They've got a ridiculously relentless fan base. Big old stadium. Everything going for them. Yet players just seem to be going, actually, no. Do you know what? I think I'd rather go some. I mean, how is anybody choosing Man United to join Man United over? And it's not for money. They're not going for ridiculously more wages or anything. It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
It is a really weird one that Newcastle haven't been able to stock up. They have been trying. Now, of course, not good planning to be without a director of football, who ultimately is the person who should be doing the running around on this stuff. So you've got Eddie Howe, the manager, and his cousin, trying to sort out all the signings, and clearly, as Ace King beats Ace Queen.
Just a double up for Alan there. Ace King against the chip leaders, Ace Queen. So gets Alan back up to 30 bigs, which puts him second in chips now.
The sort of the coup de grace was last week. I think it was last week or a week and a half ago when Liverpool, I think, just sent a memo for information. If Isak's available, we're interested. We except that it would take a British record to get him. For your information, we are interested. And by the way, we know you're talking to Ekitike, so if you don't show an interest, we're going to get in the battle for Ekitike. And obviously, they went and got him very, very quickly.
But what it has done, though, is it's turned Isak's head. And if Liverpool are prepared to turn around and say, do you know what, we've got Ekitike, but we'll quite happily still take Isak as well. Because if you can do the sort of deals you've done to get Diaz off the books, and you can do the same for Darwin,
and I think we'll get 45 to 50 for Harvey Elliott.
Then ultimately that's nearly covered it.
Yeah.
It's really it's actually not even a PSR or FFP issue. It's actually just a cash flow issue. And as long as you've got something set up where you can basically get the funds, or just put it on a paying it off over 3 years, 4 years, whatever deal you can do, then it really there's nothing stopping you from doing that if you want to. And I think the reality for Newcastle is it's not kind of quite their Coutinho moment, but they're going to need they've got to sell and turn some profit if they want to then reinvest in the squad, because although they're the richest club on the planet, it's not easy for them to get money into the club to go crazy. You can't do what Man City did for 10 years, which at the time they were able to do that before the rules. Let's remember that what they're getting done for, or we're still waiting for the ruling on, is for things that went on when the rules changed. You know, what they were doing before that was perfectly. I think at the times they were buying the likes of Robinho and stuff back in the early days was perfectly acceptable. It wasn't any issue with that whatsoever. So Newcastle have got to make a decision. I mean, I massively regret if the story was true that we got offered 100 million for Bruno from Saudi, and we put it back to him to make a decision, and he said, well, if the club don't want me, I'd discuss it. And we went, oh no, we do want you. I mean, if that was genuinely true, I mean, we should have at that time just gone 100 million for Bruno. It's been a pleasure. Thanks very much.
No loyalty to the players, Leigh. No loyalty.
No, but unfortunately, in United's position, from a financial standpoint, you can't afford to have loyalty to the players.
I agree with this. Timing is everything.
Yeah,
and a
absolutely.
good example of that, Leigh, was Liverpool's use of the Coutinho money, right?
But you're still spending now, aren't you? You're going to be spending that for another. I'd love to. There was a picture the other day. Was it the Bank of Coutinho with all these players?
to be honest, the Coutinho money funded the first wave, and we're thankful now that Trent's 8 million is funding the second wave. Great to see. But
you've got to do it right though, Des, because you look at the Bale money that Tottenham got and how badly is it's 10s versus 8s, and Tristan's at risk with the 8s, and he's going to need an 8 or he's going to be gone, and we're going to lose Tristan in 5th place, unfortunately, which means we're technically on the bubble, albeit it's for just the £28 before we hit the seats, but we're there. But yeah, the Bale money, Tottenham just scattergun spent that and splurged it and didn't really do it right. Yeah. So you've got to be clever. But some of these deals that I'm seeing, the money being, going for players, going to some of the deals that they're able to do. I look at United and go, well, when we're getting told, oh, well, we said we want 60 million for Garnacho because we want shot of him, but no one's interested in that. And like, well, Alanga's gone for 55.
Garnacho definitely go for 60.
But not if nobody wants to pay that money for him. And at the moment, everyone's sitting tight.
Yeah, people are probably sitting tight, waiting for the last week just to see who gets.
And there's an element of the United fan base that are kind of going, well, we've not done we should be doing our deals by now. We're not. Unfortunately, you've got to sometimes you've just got to go, well, okay, we've got to sit this out. We've just got to stay firm and just go, okay, we'll wait this out, and it's a game of poker, isn't it? And who blinks first and what you're going to do, and that's the way you've got to play it. I mean, Diaz is a perfect example for you guys because he made it very clear he wanted a change for whatever reason. I don't quite understand why, because you're leaving a team that have just dominated the Premier League and are strengthening massively, but he obviously wants a change.
Yeah, well, he's on a contract that pays him far less than the majority of the other stars of the club, but his
didn't want to renegotiate that?
Pardon?
Did he not want to renegotiate that and try?
We didn't want to renegotiate it. Okay, this is the thing. If we were to sign him to a 3 or 4 year deal, in terms of the way the Liverpool are managing their squad, he would be too old to sell at that point for
fair enough.
A profit or whatever.
Fair enough.
Listen, Leigh, a friend of the show is out there on YouTube land, Jordan James. Hey, Jordan, hope you're well. How did the main event raffle winner do? So, Leigh, Amanda Smith, do you want to give Jordan the story?
Jordan, she did really, really well. She didn't go.
She's still in. She's still in, Jordan.
She's still in. No, she's had to delay it for a year. So it just couldn't get the paperwork organised quick enough for this time round. So we've held it off for a year, and she is super aiming to be there in 2026. Already making the necessary plans to do that. But yeah, just couldn't. Unfortunately, depending on where you've holidayed recently, and it's not the craziest list you could imagine, but there's certain places if you've been on holiday, which are perfectly reasonable places to go on holiday, the US don't necessarily like anymore. Amanda fell foul of one of those, so has had to go and couldn't get necessarily booking to try and get the paperwork done in time. So just went, you know what?
Sorry,
Don't really,
are you saying Amanda's on an FBI watch list? Is that what you're saying to the public, Lee?
Not quite.
Not quite that bad.
No, not quite that bad. But yeah, no point in say rushing these things and then not
Russian, Lee. Was that a slip of the tongue?
and
Russian,
and not being able to enjoy what will be an absolute, I mean, just it's a chance in a lifetime, isn't it? You're going to get to go and play the main event. So so very much she's planning on doing that.
On the plus side, Lee, hopefully she'll have a couple of mates out with her next summer, because hopefully Raffles can send 2, 3, maybe 3, maybe more players to the main event.
I'm booking my flights already. They're just the Virgin flights for June next year, just coming online now.
Really?
So yeah. So I'm already just thinking, I might just book my flights and just then it's done, isn't it? I roughly know the dates that to go. We'll see what poker's on out there when we get out there. So I might there's some crazy rewards deals if you get in the day that they get, the day so basically I think it's something like 300 days in advance, and so basically obviously it just ticks along day by day, and if you can get in early, some silly flight deals to be had. If you're happy to just go, that's the dates I'm going to go, and I'll work it out.
It's a good plan.
I might even just do it open ended. Just book the flight out,
just not come back,
and leave the flight back until nearer the time. Get a decent deal on the flight out, and worry about the return one as we go. And 4 players left here then. So ICM Book has got 51 bigs, and Seymour Tilts has got 32. The other 2, Wolfie and 13 Tricks, have both got 12. So they are the 2 short stacks here, fighting between themselves for the £28 and trying to see if they can get into one of these top 2 spots and pick up one of the seats as well. Not going to be easier. Simon Lawler said, did she visit Eritrea?
No, mate, she went to Scotland.
Yeah, she's been in Coventry. Yeah. So interestingly, the other thing to mention that Simon talked about was he's thinking of avoiding Haaland and getting 2 decent forwards.
I saw that.
Of course, the interesting thing with the back on the fantasy football briefly is obviously Gyökeres coming in is a huge, player coming into.
I'd have him in my team, Lee.
Yeah, and if Sesko does come in to either Newcastle, we've been rumoured around potentially around Sesko as well. But to be fair, we've been rumoured around most forwards this year. We missed, so Delap was our first choice. We missed him. Apparently, we did speak to Ekitike, just let him know how nice Liverpool was. So that didn't work. Gyökeres was nailed on because obviously he used to be coached by our manager. So there's no way in the world that he wouldn't choose to sign for he wants to go to Arsenal. Right. Okay, cool. That's no bother. We can cope with that. And I think we're now on about plan F or G or H or somewhere down the list. The rumours are we may try and do a deal for Watkins, which will be an interesting one.
You've tried for Watkins, haven't you? Hasn't he knocked you back already?
I don't think he's knocked us back. I think Villa at the moment are wanting some silly amount of money for the player. I think the reality of it is they probably would take Garnacho.
Yeah.
So the obvious thing to do here will be, I don't think Watkins has got any value left on the books at Villa. So you could literally do a swap deal for the 2, but do it as 2 separate deals. You both pay 60 million, take the 60 million profit, and then write the 60 million you've spent off over 5 years. So similar, do you remember a couple of deals that happened early last transfer window where there was like 3 clubs that all pretty much swapped an academy player for about 20 million each or something silly? I think it was it Everton, Villa and Chelsea, I want to say, or something like that. They were literally playing a merry-go-round of
Chelsea
deals.
Were almost guaranteed to be involved in that.
Now UEFA have got, that was the other one. Did you see that today? That Chelsea are selling João Felix to Saudi for like 50 million, something like that. Like a ridiculous deal. Wolfie's all in for 10 bigs. Got it through Seymour Tilts. Decision for 13 Tricks as when to go for this or not. Having a think about it. Deciding what to do. But yeah, so they're the sorts of deals that are going on. So I think you're going to see that, that happen now. Obviously, ideally you don't want to be signing players late on in the transfer window. You want to give them a pre-season, get them settled, and so you can hit the ground running. For a team like us, for our first 5 games are shocking to have to play. So really, we don't want to be trying to fit players in. But I guess if they're already Premier League players, if it's a Watkins, excuse me, then what's there to do? He already knows the league. It's not coming in. It's not like an Ekitike or someone that doesn't know the league.
The players you brought in are Premier League proven, right?
Yeah. So that's probably it's probably a better way of looking at it. But there's been quite a few forwards that have been on the radar. I think Osman was another one that was that was rumored, but his wage requirements were just obscene, and we're not paying silly wages anymore. Once we get Rashford and Casemiro off the books, Casemiro's got another year to go. Then Bruno will be the highest earner at Old Trafford, and he's the club captain. So you kind of go, that's reasonable. And
he's your best player.
Yeah, and he's probably the best player at the moment. So so I think there's been a reset. It's painful, but as we've talked about on the show before, football goes through cycles. Ace Jack versus Ace King.
Jack.
Wolfie. It's a Jack for the ICM book, and unlucky to Wolfie. You can't do it. You can't do any more than that. Get it in a good spot, and but chips go to the chip leader. So the situation here is 3 players left, which means one of them's going to pick up £28 for third place, but then there's 2 £140 seats up top. ICM Book's got 55 bigs, Seymour Tilts has got 25 bigs, and already 13 Tricks is all in for their 10 bigs. Good luck to Wendy. Not easy one for Alan to call, really. It's half his stack if he wants to try and get this over with and turn £28 into a 140 seat.
Yeah, the reverse position. So if he gets
or
it
do
wrong,
or do you sit tight and go, well, there's more chance that the ICM book is going to call off a little bit lighter to try and bust this, because it's a sort of 5-1 chip difference. And the trouble is for Alan here, even to make the shove here into 13 Tricks big blind, it's a difficult one to do, because they could easily just go, I'll just call and take a chance on this now. I've got my money back, so I'll take a spin. And Alan doesn't really want that. He really wants ICM to do the dirty work here, really, and keep out the way of it, as this pot's getting properly slow played. So not huge. So you've got a couple of weeks if you want to get into the Fantasy Football League. Say the code's on the Facebook group. Go and check it out. And the league has already got. Let me show you the league when we're not in a hand here. I'll get the league up ready to show you.
Yeah, you're good, Lee.
Let me find the APAT show one. Unless, let's see whether Wendy shoves or not first. If she doesn't,
has that frozen, Lee?
No. There's a lot of thinking going on.
Decision.
Yeah, and has just made up the small blind. See, you'd imagine ICM book here would just shove it, but hasn't. Decided to see a flop. Let's see how this one plays out. Checking all the way down. Little bet from ICM book on the river. It's called right. So back over on the website. So this is the APAT show league already. Look at all of these names, Des. Look at them all.
Sweet.
Look at them all already in there. That's just page 1 of it.
Wow.
Click on again. And
I'll have to have a word with Carl to see if he can choose my team, Lee.
You've got all of that lot in there as well. So they're already in this. So
Dave Wood's in there.
Yeah.
Real.
So loads of people in this. Ryan Kilby is already in. I think I saw Ryan from DTD as well.
Is Ryan going to have any players to pick, Lee?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Did I see? Let me see whether I saw. There's a Ryan Boxall there. I'm sure I saw. Must be going blind. I could swear I saw Ryan from D2D the other day was in here anyway. But say loads of people already registered in it. So it's free to enter, and we're sticking £250 worth of, at least £250 worth. We might get generous and do more than that, depending on how many names and what we've got going on. But we'll do some stuff throughout the season on the APAT show as well. Try and keep you a bit more up to date with what's going on throughout the season and looking at the league tables and stuff. So we'll try and be better at it for
on the
this
Sunday
year.
night, Lee.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. But say you've got a couple of weeks if you want to get in from the start. Always recommend doing that. Even if you just go and stick it in and just put a random team in to start with and play about with it. They're giving you more transfers this year. There's more chips to play this year. They're resetting everybody's transfers before the AFCON. So you've got a chance to make it sort of 5 or 6 transfers whilst the AFCON's going on as well. So yeah, loads of options for you. ICM Book is raised it up into Alan's big blind. They're all playing really super slow here. Not quite sure why, as they're down to the final 3. But I suppose slowing it up to try and get those blinds up a little bit makes it a little bit trickier then for as you've just seen there now, because 13 Tricks has gone from 12 bigs to 8 bigs just with one blind raise. And now ICM Book is saying enough of this nonsense. I'm just all in from the button. Either of you going to call or not? Say 13 Tricks has got started this hand with 9 bigs and is now down to 8. And is only going to take a couple of orbits, and is really going to be down to fumes and needing to do it. We'll see how Wendy decides to play it. I guess if Alan folds here, then potentially it's a good spot for Wendy to just say, right, okay, I'll just take my chances and get it in. But Alan makes the call and Wendy fold. Wow, okay, properly tight play here on this final 3 of tonight's Sunday Satellite. Say one of 3 ways you can win APAT seats for the Worlds at the moment. You can play these on a Sunday night and win £140, effectively £140 seat credit, which obviously you can use for any main event during the autumn or seat credit towards the Worlds. Or we've got a couple of draws that are happening weekly at the moment on Poker Raffles. There's a Dusk Till Dawn Summer 2025 seat worth £560, which gives you £560 worth of seat credit at the Worlds. Or you can play the Player's Choice seat draw, which is £140 seat credit again, and you can use that for the Worlds. They're running every single week. I think the APAT one's probably nearly sold out for tomorrow night. Let me do a refresh on that and see whether it's gone yet. Now there's 8 tickets left for that if you want in for tomorrow night for the APAT Player's Choice. Still a stack of tickets for the DTD one. That always goes crazy on a Monday. So I think there's about 400 and something odd tickets left for that, but don't be surprised if that gets close to selling out. I think we've sold out about 5 or 6 of those in a row.
Lee, listen, talking about raffles tickets, I think we need to award some
yes, we were going to do that, weren't we?
comp, right?
Yeah, God, you tell me. We'll check out £5 tickets to anyone you fancy doing.
Okay, well, listen, there are 3 or 4 here that I really loved. What did I like? Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, number one for me, clear number 1. When you order Oasis tickets from Temu and you end up with the sea level, sort of tribute act, liked that very much. I have to give a vote of confidence to Jimmy Somerville has let himself go. I mean, I recognize that one. I think I deserve tickets for saying Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
And I suppose, look, we have to, for Magic Dave Brady, unfortunately, the British remake of The Matrix never went ahead, but we'll always have the casting photos. I mean, that's probably it there. Dave Amos, maybe, with a late runner. Ginger Kid attempting to gain street cred by hanging with Cool Sunglasses Kid. That's you, right?
Back in the day, 2008. Back in the day, 2008, everyone was wearing sunglasses inside poker rooms. It was just, everyone did it.
As Musty said, old school poker at its purest.
It gave you an edge.
Right, Musty.
It gave you an edge, at least like a 1.8%. It's pretty much like having connectors. Honestly, it was.
So I think we had Dave Amos, Magic Dave Brady, Carl Pilgrim, of course. And Simon Lawler.
Cool. Lovely. I will sort out some site credit for all of you guys. Thanks very much. Just to say a bit of fun. I sort of say I was looking, going, oh, those pictures that I've got on the screen of you, we're a bit pixelated. We should get some professional ones done. I thought, oh, there'll be some on Facebook. I'll find one on Facebook, and then stumbled across those and went, wow, that really works. But it's funny how your poker plays, because I did used to play with the shades on your head and your headphones in. And you very quickly realize that actually it's actually not fun, and you miss out on so much information and just chatting to people. And I can't remember the last time I sat at a poker table with headphones on. I just don't anymore. Even if it's a miserable table, I just still sit there and listen to what's going on and try and get involved in it. And it's much more enjoyable. But yeah, we all used to do it back in the early days of APAT. I mean, I think your photo, I think that was about 2010. I think one of me was about 2008. And bear in mind, APAT started in 2006, so it's we're 20 years next year. Yeah. Crikey, poker's moved on a lot since then.
Yeah, I'm not
those days.
I'm not sure I can accept that I was in my 40s in that particular picture, Lee. I look more like about 22, to be honest.
Yeah, yowzers. Time flies, doesn't it?
Doesn't it just slap you in the face, eh?
Sure. It's a shame that we still don't have. I mean, we've got a lot of photos from APAT years gone by, but I know we used to. I think wherever we used to put them, we had a problem and we lost.
Oh, we did.
We lost them, which is a real shame. I've always struggled to find a good quality picture of Tristan's Worlds win.
Really?
Everyone else have got it, but I've got a version of it, but it's not the greatest resolution version of it. And that was around the sort of time. It was just like a year where we had a load of them. And when, of course, everything's on Facebook these days and things like that, and gets lost quite easily. Sadly, it used to be on the forum and things. It used to be a lot.
We used to take photos with a proper camera once upon a time. We didn't have them on phones.
Now we all just snap away on
different times.
I was saying that with I was looking for the last time I'd so it was 20 years ago that I think I last saw Oasis live in Cardiff, and I'm going to see them again this week now coming, and I was like, crikey. And you saw the photos from Millennium Stadium in Cardiff 20 years ago. It was like, God, how rubbish were phones on. And then I thought, actually, I'm not even sure whether it was a camera on a phone 20 years ago. It might be that actually you took a camera in with you. It might have even been that.
Back in the days when you weren't allowed to take a camera in, and you certainly couldn't record any of it.
Yeah, and I did have to chuckle. The stuff came through for the tickets, for the Aces tickets at Wembley this week, and all the things you can't do. They won't let you take bottles in randomly. So even if you've got an empty drinks bottle, you can't take them in. Not letting you take any bottles in whatsoever.
Well,
and they were listing listing all the other things that you can't take in with you. Obviously, weapons and ammunition and all the standard stuff. And then it said and professional videography equipment that can record anything 4K or 8K. So, well, every bloody iPhone can record 4K. It's just like 13 Tricks is all in, and ICM Book has made the call. Alan surely is folding here. He's not going to get involved in this hand, is he? Unless he's got an absolute monster of a hand here. I can't believe it. Surely he's going to let this play out and see what happens. Ace 10 versus Jack 8. Jack 8 at risk then. 10 on the flop. There's no outs there.
That's it.
Unfortunately, we're going to lose 13 Tricks in...
Wow.
In third place, picking up £28. Got your money back, Wendy. Very well done to you. Congratulations to Seymour. I think that could be Alan's fourth satellite win, maybe something like that. Congratulations to him. Super consistent. And the ICM Book, very well done to you as well. We will find out who you are and get your details on our list. And basically, then just let us know when you want to play, and we'll get on with it. If you missed out the satellites tonight, well, you can always head over to Raffles and play one of the draws tomorrow night. The Dusk of Dawn draw in the middle there is going to be drawn tomorrow night, and those 8 tickets left on the APAT draw is going to get drawn tomorrow night as well. Tickets are £1. Also got Party Poker Tour Players' Choice. They're up in Glasgow in a couple of weeks' time, Des, so that'll be quite good. Or that Malta Poker Festival one, which again you can use for the APAT event out in Malta. Obviously, you can use it to play the main event, the grand event, as they call it, out in Malta if you want to, which will have a huge, I think it's got €500,000 guarantee on it. But if you want to actually go, well, actually, I fancy going out to Malta and playing the APAT event and having a little bit of extra cash towards the holiday, we can make that happen for you as well. So yeah, whichever one you want to do, entirely up to you. There you go. We said it. I said it'd be about an hour on a Sunday night. Thanks to all of you that played the satellite tonight. Really, really appreciate getting that up and running. And very aware that it's summer and there's lots of other things going on. Hey, the Goliath is we haven't even mentioned the Goliath. I mean, they're already smashing crazy numbers up there. I saw the Towers walk through, Des, might have been yesterday, and he was showing all of the kind of the winners over the years, and they got to the first year, and the guy that won it in the first year, I think, beat something like 1,700 players.
A big field at the time.
Yeah, big field at the time. They got 1,400 runners on day 1A this year.
Insane.
They're expecting to do well over 10,000 runners this week, getting up close to the 2 million expected prize pool. Phenomenal setup there. If you're going to Coventry this week, be prepared to queue a little bit. The app went down, I think, yesterday, just due to the volume of people. Obviously, it's great to have, and people can just buy in and use it and get your seat drawn on. But yeah, just went down. Hopefully, they're going to have that back up and running again by tomorrow, once they've sorted whatever the glitch was on that. So, but just leave a little bit of time if you are going to Coventry this week to play any of the events. Just go with a smile on your face, and what will be regarding getting yourself into the event. Can't do much about the cards either, but just go and enjoy yourselves. Loads going on. I see Katie Swift has run deep in the GUKPT main, which smashed the million guarantee on that as well. I think she was down to the last final 2 tables. So good luck to you.
Oh, brilliant!
Katie,
tonight, Lee.
in that. I don't know whether it was tonight or it might be there back tomorrow.
Okay.
I saw a bag. Yeah, 3
good luck to Katie there.
But obviously for Katie, slight problem because today was the ladies' event, which she was hosting.
Well,
but
needs
hey,
must, right?
Nice problem to have.
Yeah.
I did post up on the group last week. Katie did a really nice interview with the real ladies of Vegas poker podcast, which was a really cool interview. And I think you can get the full version of that podcast as well to have a catch up. But both Katie and Jamie have done some lots of good content promoting Goliath and the event. But yeah, it's going to be a cracking week. If any of you are playing it this week, post in the group. Let us know how you're getting on. If anybody gets a day 2 stack for Goliath, stick it in the APAT Facebook group. Let us know how you're getting on so we can follow you next weekend or anything you're playing. Because there's loads of obviously evening comps as well. I think there's the charity Jokers Wild comp, I think, which is on Wednesday night this week. So loads to get involved in if you're giving it a go. But yeah, good luck. But just leave yourself plenty of time. Parking's going to be a nightmare. It's just going to be super busy. But yeah, it is what it is. Go there with a smile on your face and enjoy it, because that's what it's all about.
Oh, fantastic. And listen, if any of you are around tomorrow evening, join Lee and I, 9 p.m, poker raffles. There's still loads of D2D tickets to get. The APAT one's going to sell out. So you've got, about 8 tickets left. So get in there quickly. But hopefully you can join us at 9 p.m. tomorrow night for that. Other than that, have a great week. And we hope to see you back online at grosvenorpoker.com and with the APAT show next Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. Have a great week, everyone. Cheers.